is yung Twitter, your ex ngayon.
Yes po, sa Twitter po namin sila na-monitor. We cannot say if active din po ba sila sa ibang social media. We have not monitored that yet kasi yung resources po namin maliit lang din po yung manpower namin. Pero yung na-trip po namin na nakuha namin, nahuli namin na activity was on Twitter.
Okay, so you said earlier kayo ay fact checkers, correct?
Yes,
And
Mr.
you're
Chair.
not in any way a government agency or a unit of a government agency.
No, Mr. Chair.
Private kayo.
Yes po.
At ginagawa niyo to, bakit?
We are journalists, no? So I think it's part of our mandate.
And
to
because
also fact check.
you're a journalist, ang ibig bang sabihin, yung iyong fact-checking methodology are bound by rules and regulations under the code of conduct ng mga journalist.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I am a member of the NUJP. We have a code of conduct for code of ethics for journalists. No, we are also a part of the IFC and the International Fact Checking Network. This is a group of fact checkers sa buong mundo. No, at matindi po yung kanilang process, no, sa pag-ensure, sa pagpapasok ng mga members. Talagang very deliberate, no, talagang detalyado. On our website, when we do our fact checks, nandun din po yung aming fact checking policy. We are very transparent sa kung paano kami nagpa-fact check. In-explain namin doon lahat ng processes that we take, no, lahat ng measures that we take to ensure yung fact check namin ay maayos. This is also the same for other members of the IFCN, including also yung mga Filipino organizations like the previously invited Verifiles po. No?
Okay. So, yung grupo nyo has the technical capability to determine what is fake and what is real. Sabi nyo kasi nagpa-fact check kayo, di ba?
Yes, Mr. Chair, on a certain level, yes po.
Okay, so if assuming a content or a post is discovered by you to be fake or false, what do you do? Anong ginagawa nyo? Kayo ba ay nagpo-post din na ito ay mali, ito ay kalokohan, ito ay kasinungalingan? Gumagawa ba kayo ng ganon?
Yes po, Mr. Chair, we publish news, fact-check articles on our website.
So only on your website. You don't share it with other websites or other platforms?
Ganito po, after we post the investigation of the fact check on our website, we create collaterals na mga graphics, video. We also create TikTok videos explaining yung mga fact check po na nilalabas natin. And through our partnerships with other news organizations, minsan under the agreements is magano kami, content sharing. No, so for example, we have a partnership with the University of the Philippines, yung check.ph na initiative na ginagawa nila tuwing elections. Kapag may fact check kami, sinishare po ng iba pang mga members ng coalition na yun, yung story namin. So at the same time, ganoon din po, kapag may mga fact check stories sila, sinishare din po namin. So it's an effort.
So para lang sa kaalaman namin, no? Halimbawa, meron kayong fact check at nakita nyo nga na ito ay fake news. So you immediately create contents that would determine that this post is a fake post or fake content, ganon?
Yes, it will start po with an investigation, with a study.
And then you share this with other platforms.
Yes po, that we are partners with. Yes.
Okay, and these are, ano mga platforms ito? TikTok, sabi mo kanina, TikTok, no?
Yes po, we have a TikTok channel, Press1PH. We are also present on Facebook and on Twitter. Tapos may YouTube din po kami, where we have a podcast and videos din on fact-checking.
Did you ever experience that when you do your fact-checking and post something, they take it down? The platform takes it down?
Hindi naman po, awa ng Diyos, no? Wala po kaming ganong experience, no?
Okay.
Kasi we are registered po as a news website on Facebook, no? And I think sa X verified din po kami as yung account namin on X or Twitter is also verified. Tapos sa YouTube, meron po kaming enough subscribers, I think, that will make sure na hindi mangyayari po sa amin yung ganun, no? We are also at some point we were recognized by Google as a trusted media organization. No?
So sometimes, kagaya kanina, no, may tanong, yung sa YouTube, does YouTube use you as a fact checker for them? Or any other social media platform?
Hindi po kami part
So,
ng...
independent kayo?
Yes po.
So, they did not engage you or hire you or contracted you to be one of the fact-checkers of their platform?
Hindi po. We are not a third-party fact checker of any platform.
Okay. But, yung inyong NGO, we call this an
It's a media group, yes. We are non-government news organization.
Okay. So, meaning, in the performance of your fact-checking, you are governed by certain rules under the NUJP.
Under a lot of body, no? So, kasama na rin dun, I think, yung ethics that we've learned from journalism school, no?
Okay.
And all that, no? And also as well, no? On top
Kasi-
of the NUJ, sorry po.
The reason why I'm asking that question is kasi suddenly nga, ito nga pagkakaroon ng social media platforms, marami po tayong mga kababayan na bigla na lang naging journalist eh. 'Di ba? At yung iba, suddenly, no, in the guise of freedom of expression, no, I don't know if they really understand, no, kung ano yung distinction ng freedom of expression at saka yung probably violations that they have committed, no, in that particular right, no. So bigla silang biglang dumami ang mga yan eh, and they're suddenly coming out with several news and projecting it to be totoo or dapat paniwalaan. Kaya nga kumalat yung mga ganito. And there are only very few, no, purveyors of fake news. And alam nyo naman siguro kung sino yung mga yan. Can you name at least one purveyor of fake news that you have discovered in your fact-checking?
Mr. Chair, medyo may na-hot seat po ako, no? Pero top of mind po, wala akong mabanggit na pangalan ngayon, I guess. No, pero more on the narratives po kasi, no, we focus on the narrative. So, for example, the biggest narrative that we've seen, no, that has been disproven is let's say, the Marcos Gold, no, na they are saying na may toneladang ginto when in fact may mga previous na studies na nagpatunay na sukat lang, no, kung ilang ginto na ba yung na-discover at nahukay sa buong mundo. No? So marami pong ganong klaseng mga narratives na lumalabas. And also, specifically po, yung narratives na lumabas sa report na nilabas po na shinare namin dito noong nakaraang session po.
So, are you a journalism graduate?
Yes po, I am also studying, I'm also taking up masters ng journalism sa UST ngayon.
Okay.
And I graduated po sa letra ng AB.
What is your take, what is your opinion on the purveyors of fake news in the social media? Bilang isang journalist na alam mo na meron kayong disiplina, meron kayong code of conduct, and meron dapat ethics, no, na sinusunod o pamantayan ang mga journalist. And then suddenly, you see a lot of purveyors of fake news in the social media. How do you feel as a journalist? As a real journalist, hindi yung mga pseudo-journalist.
Honestly po, medyo mahirap siya sa aming trabaho, no? Kasi ako personally, for example, since we have a TikTok and YouTube channel, when I create explainer videos on fact-checking and the investigative work that we do, tas minsan naka-classify ako as a vlogger and a purveyor also of fake news kasi may mga trolls na nagagalit sa akin when I do the work that I do. No? So, it makes our job harder. No, but at the same time, I think it's very important to find a distinction between journalists and purveyors of fake news. No, so the very moment na you step outside the ethics, no, of being a journalist, no, talagang masasabi naman natin na there's a stark difference between the two.
Okay, salamat sa information. I'd like to direct my questions now to the KBP. Mr. Chair, Attorney, tanong ko lang po, ilan na po ang members ngayon ng KBP?
Mr. Chair, there are about networks of more than 110 already.
110.
More than that. I don't know the
Can you elaborate further? 110 members or 110 paano po ba yan?
networks. Yes, although the number of stations reach about 500.
But only 110 are members.
The radio stations and TV stations are owned by the members.
Okay. So it doesn't follow that if you have 500 members, 500 din yung number ng KBP. Tama po ba yun?
Mr. Chair, the fact that we have more than 110 members doesn't mean to say that there are only 110 stations. There can be more stations because one member can have
Ayan,
several
tama.
stations.
Yeah. Thank you for that information. So, yan po ba namomonitor nyo yung kanilang mga broadcasts, no? Your KBP is monitoring radio and TV. Tama po ba?
Not that won't be accurate. We rely on information given to us, and we investigate based on the information given to us or complaints.
Yeah, but complaints on, say, personalities that are using networks. Kunyari, yung mga broadcaster, ganyan.
Yes, Mr. Chair. For example, yung mga black timers.
Okay. Sa mga I was going to that question actually. Yung mga black timers, no, na hindi naman membro ng KBP, but uses the network as their way of, say, maybe hitting on somebody. Hindi ho ba yan sakop ng KBP? Wala ho bang karampatang parusa yung network for allowing black timers to go overboard?
Mr. Chair, the network is responsible for persons going on the air in their stations. And if it is regular, they should be accredited by the KBP.
Okay.
So black timers who go on the air regularly must have KBP accreditation. If the station or the network allows a non-accredited person to go regularly on the air, there's a violation of the Code of Ethics.
So meaning, a non-member of the KBP cannot use the network to broadcast.
Non-accredited broadcaster.
Non-accredited.
Yes.
So very clear po yun. Halimbawa ho, si Congressman Paduano, suddenly, bigla ho naging radio commentator. Nag-block time po siya sa isang radio station. And he starts hitting Congressman Manuel. And saying things that are not true. Sino ang may liability? Si Congressman Paduano o yung network?
In addition to the liability of the black timer himself, the network has also a responsibility or can be held liable.
At least malinaw po na parehang may liability because they should be responsible in whatever they broadcast.
Yes, in fact, the responsibility extends to putting the black timer off the air if they continue to violate KBP ethics.
So, ang halimbawa ho, kasi ito, nagkaroon ho tayo na, kung naalala nyo, nung panahon na meron tayong COVID, marami hong mga lumalabas na mga information tungkol sa COVID eh. In fact, marami rin lumalabas na information na huwag kayong magpabakuna kasi pag nagpabakuna kayo, mamamatay kayo. So, it affected the program of the national government in the vaccination program for all our citizens, no? So, yun, kaya nga napakahalaga talaga na meron tayong regulasyon doon sa mga kasi maraming naggagaling-galingan diyan sa when they speak like a medical doctor even if they're not. When they speak speak like a member of the Supreme Court even if they're not lawyers. Some of them speak like they're more popish than the Pope. Can you believe that? I mean, when they start speaking about certain issues, parang they speak with the authority na wala namang basihan. Kaya napakahalaga ho. Kayo po bilang KBP, ilang taon na po kayong chairman dyan, sir? Attorney?
I'm not the chairperson, Your Honor. I'm the general counsel.
You're the general counsel. And would you agree that there must be some sort of a regulatory policy in the use of the social media platforms in the country?
I agree that there must be some form of self-regulation.
Self-regulation, hindi
yes.
po government regulation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Of course,
I'm sorry. The success of the KBP and the Ad Standards Council is founded on self-regulation. Membership is voluntary. That is why they voluntarily adhere to the Code of Ethics. There is, if they don't believe in it, they get out.
okay.
But the point is, since it is self-regulation and voluntary in nature, there is more reason for the members to follow the rules.
Okay, yeah, magandang point po yun, no? Because may dalawang schools of thought to, eh. One is that the government must come up with a law regulating or a regulatory policy in the use of social media platforms. Sa inyo naman po, walang gobyerno kundi self-regulatory. Tama, ano? Tama po ba, attorney?
Yes po, pero meron kami mga provisions in our Code of Ethics that are based on law. For example, libel.
Yes.
It's adopted in our Code of Ethics.
That's right, yeah.
So, may legal basis, and as we always try to impress upon the new members, there's a difference between self-regulation and censorship. Self-regulation is self-restraint. Censorship is government restraint.
Okay. Now, does it necessarily follow, attorney, that when the government, say, comes up with a regulatory policy, is that already censorship or stifling of the freedom of expression?
Not necessarily, Your Honor.
Unless it is clear in the law, correct?
Yes, and especially should not constitute prior restraint.
Yes, correct. We perfectly understand that kasi alam naman po natin kung ano po yung mga nakasaad sa ating saligang batas. That's why we're careful, no? If the Congress passes a law that is unconstitutional, people can go to the Supreme Court and question that, di ba? Kaya naman kaya nga ho kami nangungonsulta, no? Gusto naming marinig mula po sa mga practitioners, sa mga actors kung ano yung mga dapat naming ilagay sa aming committee report kung kami po yung magsusulat na ng aming report tungkol dito sa layunin ng committee ito. And we value the opinions of experts, no, in this in the broadcast and broadcast industry, as well as the opinions of experts. Himay-himayin din po namin yan dahil gagawa din po kami ng posibleng batas, no, na magiging produkto nitong ano na ito. Gusto ko lang ipakita, Mr. Chair, just a very short and I'd like to ask the committee secretary to please show on our screen, no? Halimbawa po, itong andito sana nga yung ibang mga vloggers, no? Meron po akong can we ask okay, meron pong screenshot ng dalawang Facebook post na nakuhaan ng Philippine Star, no? Bago ito ma-delete noong 2022, kung saan pinost ni Mr. J. Sonsa ang mga lalagyan ng inuming pinadala ni dating Vice President Robredo sa Marawi noong 2017. Ito po, oh. Ayan. Try to read what the text says, no? Sabi diyan, ang ganda naman ng lalagyan ng tubig inumin nila, mga pinaglagyan ng pintura, matibay at maraming laman, may lead content pa. Aangat nga kaya ang buhay ng gagamit nito, no? To me, no, I am not an expert, but sa akin, pag nabasa ko yan, ang aking opinion dyan, nagpadala po ng tubig doon sa mga biktima ng Marawi Siege. Dahil isa pong nangangailangan po ang mga tao dyan, no? At imbis na suportahan ay siniraan, no? Ngayon, syempre, nakabasa niyan, baka hindi na uminom. Sabi, may lead content pala yan, baka lason yan. Diba? Imbis nga, kaya nga ako iinom dahil gusto kong mabuhay. Diba? Yun ang gusto nating ipakita, no? Kasi gusto ko sanang tanungin sa kanya, kung bago niya pinost ito, nagkaroon ba siya ng considerations, gaya halimbawa nung posibleng concern o takot na maaaring madulot nitong post na ito sa mga citizens o yung mga tatanggap niyan tubig na yan na pinamigay nila, no? O, pagkatapos mong ma-post ito, a few days later on, nag-release po ng official statement ang donors na itong mga tubig na to ay may food grade, no? Safe for use at walang toxic materials ang mga lalagyan o water filtration buckets na dinonate nila sa Angat Buhay para sa Marawi matapos itong pinadala doon. Ngayon, nung lumabas po na food grade ito, dinelete ho agad yung post. Diba? Ano yung punto kong gustong sabihin? Ang punto ko dito, dinelete mo dahil bakit? Dahil nakita mo na food grade pala yan, mali pala yung sinabi ko may lead content. Bakit hindi ka nag-post na mga kababayan, nagkamali ako, sinabi ko may lead content yan, yung pala ay food grade yan. No, this is the type of responsibility that we want to demand to these kinds of vloggers, no? Or those content creators na sinasabi natin. Now, another post. Can you please show the next slide? Oh, ayan, kagaya niya, halimbawa, eto, may pagka, di ba? Tingnan mo yung sinabi niya, no? Imbis na yung mga target ng DepEd ang lumaki, PUDAY yung lumaki. Di ba? Di ba? Hindi ba, ito ba itama? Di ba? So, ito yung mga sinasabi natin, no? For those who are responsible for all this, meron ba kayong ginawa after nyong nilabas ito at sinabi nyo na napatunayan na kayo ay nagpapakalat ng fake news? Wala naman kayong ginawa eh. Hindi ba? Yung next, pakipakita yung next. Ayan, basahin nyo. Kung nakikita nyo yung nasa ibabaw, ano yung nakasulat? Medyo may bastos eh. Pwede bang i-enlarge yan? Pakiano lang, para lang nakikita natin. Pwede bang palakihin yan? Yung post na yan ay galing daw kay Mr. C, no? Mr. C, no? Baka si Xi Jinping ito eh. Ano yung sinasabi? Basahin nyo kung ano yung sinasabi. I leave that to your imagination, ladies and gentlemen, no? So, ang tanong, meron kayong pinost na ganito, no? January 17 lang pala to, bago, kung saan pinapatamaan nila si Senator De Lima na naging sangkot sa issue ng pakikipagrelasyon, no? Sa kanyang driver daw noon, no? Bakit kaya niya binring up ito? When he could have just posted the picture without the caption. Diba? Because malisyoso yung kanyang intention. Hindi po ba? Diba? Sa ating mga vloggers nandito ngayon, ano sa tingin nyo? Diba? Oh. Next, pakidala nyo dun sa next. Yung isa pa. Ayan. NEDA, PSA technocrats, the last bastion of truth, decency, and self-respect have been bought and compromised. Kung papayagan natin yung mga ganito, it may create confusion among our people. Di ba lahat po tayo may access sa social media eh. Yung high school, elementary students, meron ng access yan sa social media. Kung nakakabasa sila ng ganito, di ba? Ito lang ho ay ibang example na gusto naming ipakita. And marami pa sana kaming ipapakita kung nag-attend yung ibang nag-a-attend na inimbitahan namin. Kasi we wanted to ask them. Di ba? What motivated you to post this? Di ba? Example, di ba? Yung mga ganong klaseng post. Bakit nyo nilabas ito? May ibig ba kayong sabihin? Meron ba kayong gustong iparating? Meron ba kayong gustong gawin? is this suppression of the freedom of expression just because we wanted to ask and because we want to craft a policy so that this social media platforms will not be abused by some people? Sabagay, ganun talaga eh. Pagka, ika nga, sa isang basket ng itlog, merong bulok eh. Diba? Ilan lang naman yung mga bugok na yan, no? Unfortunately, may iba dyan na may pinag-aralan naman sana. Hindi ko maintindihan, ba't ganun eh? Yun lang vulgar, using profanities and vulgar words. This reflects on their personality. And sad to say, this also reflects on how they were raised by their families, by their parents. Kakaya naman sa mga magulang nyo. Meron dyan, yung laos na. No? Nagpapasikat pa. Siguro gustong kumita eh. Laos na nga eh. Ito, next post please. Yan. Oh, tingnan nyo to. PBBM at Speaker Romualdez pinagkakatiwalaan na maraming Pinoy. Meron pong survey dyan. Meron pong nilabas na ganyang ano. Pero tingnan nyo yung caption sa ibabaw. Hindi po yan news. Hanap buhay po yan ng bayarang mga mamamahayag. Kayo ba mga journalist, papayag kayo na ginaganyan kayo nitong pseudo-journalist? I'm sure kayo mismo, because you love your profession, you work hard to become journalist, pinag-aralan niyo yan, and yet somebody who is not even a journalist will say these things sa industriya ninyo. Nakakalungkot na meron tayong mga ganito eh. Hindi nga natin malaman kung ito ba ay motivation ba nito because gusto ng engagement, gustong maraming likes, shares, and ano ba yun, views para ma-monetize, or I don't know, somebody may, perhaps is paying them. We don't know. Oh, ito. Next, please. Ayan. Basahin nyo. COMELEC is aiding corrupt politicians to remain in power. Pumayag sa ayuda distribution, nakimiting kay BBM at Lisa na may mga endorsong kandidato. Parang alam na alam niya eh. Diba? Parang alam na alam niya eh. When she tells a story, it's as if she has personal knowledge of this. Hindi ba dapat we should call their attention dahil dito? Hindi mo natin sila pinipigilan. Kung ayaw nyo sa politiko, wala namang problema. 24 hours kayo magsalita dyan. Wala, hanggang mapagod kayo, hanggang magsawa kayo. Ano ba? Pwede nyong gawin yun. Walang problema dyan eh. Pero wag mo akong mumurahin. Gusto mo akong murahin, sabihin mo sa akin harapan, wag dyan sa social media. Dahil ako, ika nga, sabi ni Congressman Paduano, ako ay may pinag-aralan. Ayaw kong nilalabas yung ganyan sa social media. Hindi ba? So, again, Mr. Chair, I just wanted for this discussion to be, so to speak, realistic. Meron lang po tayong pinakitang mga ganito, no? And there are a lot of these kinds of posts that we feel are baseless and unfounded and only meant to defame, discredit, and destroy the person. Ayun ang gusto nating i-check, no? O ngayon, ang tanong, yan ba ay suppression of freedom of expression? Just because we want to check this? No. Yun ang masakit, di ba? Oh. I am sure after this hearing, left and right na yan, bantayan nyo. Sigurado ako, hindi ako nagkakamali. Oh. Yun na nga titira sila sa social media. Buti pa kayo nandirito, dito humarap kayo eh. Di ba? Humarap kayo. Kayo magpapatunay na kami dito ay wala hong intensyon para kayo'y sinasabi nila. Ano yung sinabi ni Congressman Paduano? I-detain daw sila. O i-contempt daw sila. So, Mr. Chairman, sorry for taking so much of the time. I just wanted to be realistic in these efforts to really correct, no? And maybe come up with a regulatory policy in the use of our social media platforms in the country. Just like what other countries are doing. Because they've done that, these are best practices, ba't hindi natin gayahin? O gumawa tayo ng angkop sa ating kultura, angkop sa ating buhay bilang Pilipino. Salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Chairman.